Tell me, Ma, when I get home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Stole me hair, stole me comb, but that's all right when I get home. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's the belle of the Belfast City. She's the one who, 1, 2, 3. Oh, can't probably do that song else I get demonetized. Tell All right, so what I want to talk about today, I got a couple Q&As I want to look at. I want to laugh at the NBA, so we'll do that here in just a second. I bought Exxon today at, I can't remember what I bought it at. Actually, what's up, Carl? Yeah, the NBA is freaking just mind-boggling. It's actually funny. At this stage, it's just more proof that Trump's going to win. This might be this is what happens when you pamper people their whole lives. Literally, this is what happens. What's up, Juan? This is what happens when people get pampered. Look, hey, Denise, haven't seen you around these parts for a while. How's California? It's not about the rich people, Alberto. It's about just the idiot. They're just idiots. They've been pampered for. It's like no different than college people. These young folks have been, like, not all of them. I don't throw everybody in there, but they've been pampered their whole lives. Especially, we know for a fact that everyone is a victim except Christian white men. All right, that's a fact. And so, if you're non-Christian white man, you are not as much as a victim. If you're a Christian white guy, you're evil, and you can do no wrong if you're other people. But it's just a matter of who's most victim. In the NBA, they're just a victim status, which is insane because they run the roost, man. These guys are big, bulky. They've had all the ladies their whole lives. They've had everyone sweating them from AAU. It is crazy. I sit there and I say, super hot when there's no, that's right. You don't have air conditioning because your stupid governor, gruesome. Oh, that's Alberto. You're in California too, right? Yeah, but Alberto does have solar, so he does have air conditioning as long as he's not grid tied. Alberto, you grid tied? You're not, right? You have a transfer switch, don't you, on your PV? I sit there and I just laugh at the NBA. It's funny now. At first, I was pissed off. I said, "You're gonna put I don't watch the NBA. I don't care." Actually, it's kind of like how I used to feel about the SEC. When the SEC was getting smashed in bowls, I was happy to see the SEC lose. Now I'm an SEC fan, bar none. Carl. But now I'm an SEC because they got the guts to play football, which actually it really isn't guts. And on top of that, they got Mike Leach over at Mississippi State. So the Big Ten can kiss my butt. I was watching Clay Travis today, and he thinks that the Big Ten not playing football is going to lead to many of these states going back to Trump just because basically what's got to happen is Trump's got to get people fired up more so. And I'm not sure I buy that analysis, but I think it's pretty interesting. Certainly people are not going to be happy that you can't play football. Their kids can't play football. And like I said all the time, all we need, the Republicans, is 15% of the black vote. And blacks like football, man. And if you can't play, they're going to be pissed. And all we need is 15%. They're going to see that the Republicans are allowing them to play. The Democrats are not. The Democrats are treating them as if they're as if they can't freaking make 2 and 2 together. We don't. And I say we because I still am Republican, Libertarian, and the Democrats are allowing insanity in the streets, which don't affect suburban white families. It affects inner city black families for sure. And all it takes is 15%. We get 15% of the black vote for once. It's going to be a wipeout of untold proportions. And I'm just telling you, that's what it comes down to, because the whites aren't leaving Trump. The Spanish speakers are always on the bubble there. We'll get the Cubans more so, I think, in Florida than we did before, because what happened was before they forgot how bad the left wing was. The Cubans did, some of the newcomers to Cuba, to the United States. And so Florida was kind of on the wasn't so strong as a Republican stronghold, but now we're seeing the Marxists marching through the streets. I think they'll get a resurrection of the antipathy they have towards the left, which is good. So Florida should go pretty simply for Trump, I think. And then, of course, what we have is the upper Midwest states are always the battleground. They weren't always the battleground, but they are now. And I think with the governors not, playing football, that's going to help Trump. But actually, I think the riots more than anything. Oh, okay, gotcha. So Denise says that has nothing to do with the governor. Houses there were built with no air conditioning. All right, gotcha. It didn't used to be this hot. Did you buy the Exxon stock in your retirement account? I did. Um, the stock is. I only have 2 accounts, David. I have a IRA, which is my primary account, and then I have my M1 brokerage account. I don't want any income in my M1 account at all. So ideally, your dividends will go into a Roth. That's where you'd want it. But if you can't have it in a Roth, you're going to want it in an IRA, especially if you're making any kind of income. This year, I'm making too much income relative to I don't want any more income from investment for sure. I had thought about putting in my my brokerage account, my non-IRA, but I said I don't want to do that. I just don't want the income. My man, some guys. So some guy was saying, which is a good point. Let's take a look on. Hold on just a second. Let me go to. Where was I looking at this thing? And I'm drawing a blank. Where I can't remember. It was a finance in Yahoo, but there's another place I was looking at too. I can't remember. Let's. Shoot. I don't know if it's even going to be on here. Someone had pointed about the. How's the Wellington book coming? Well, the problem is, my friend, is I love the Wellington book, but hey, buddy, the problem is that I like doing the YouTube videos more, and so because that, I default to doing videos where I should be writing my book. That's a fact. But I just like this. It's easier. It's funner, more fun. But I need to be doing the book, and it's coming. I just got. I like to read in the morning, walk, do videos, come back. I get calls with clients, and that's so that's what I do. And I need to write in the morning as opposed to reading by. I exactly, Jeff. But the problem is I like to read, and that's my best time to write is in the morning. But that's when I like to read as well. And so I'm reading on how the internet is rewiring our brains. It's The Shallows by a guy, I think it's Nick. Bear with me just a second. A guy named Nicholas Carr. It's called The Shallows. And I enjoy that a lot. And then it just gets my mind thinking. I like it, but I need to get back to writing them some more. Laker basketball has not been the same since 2002 when Chick Hearn retired. Remember the guy who used to call Johnny Most for the Celtics. Havlicek stole the ball. Havlicek stole the ball. And then Larry Bird stole the ball. Bird stole the ball. Johnny Most, I'm sure he's since passed, but look, I haven't watched the NBA. You used to go see the Bullets. They had George Mershon, Big George. I think he was from some European country, and we were sitting there at a Bullets game, and George Mershon was like 7'5" or something like that. And I yelled, I said, "Hey, George!" I was drunk as a skunk with the monks, and he looked up and goes, "What?" I said, "Whoa!" I thought he was going to come up in the stands and punch. I just said, "Hey, George!" Crazy. No, right on, man. It's coming. I just got to get it, dude. I'm sitting there thinking, oh, procrastinate. I just got to take. Literally, I have everything I need. Just got to get it in verbal. I mean, so basically, I'm on my last 2 chapters. If that makes sense, I'm on my last 2 chapters, and that's it. I just got to do it. I mean, that's it. My man Carl says he's been with his Schwab Intelligent Portfolio for 6 months. He's still down 4%, 94%. All right, let's talk about. Actually, let's look up the Schwab Intelligent Portfolios. Schwab Intelligent Portfolio right here, because there's a reason why the Schwab Intelligent Portfolios are not going to be as good, and they will be maybe better. Hold on just a second. Let's see. I'm not sure if this is going to have the holdings or not. So I'm with Schwab. My USA money is now at Schwab. Well, that's what I was going to, hold on a sec. That's what I was going to show you here. All right. Yeah. All right. Sweet. So I forgot I got, all right. Sweet. Hold on just a second. I want to go back to, yeah, so let's go to Schwab Intelligent Portfolios. All right. So let's look, we're going to go and look at the Schwab Intelligent Portfolios. That's it right there. Tell me, Ma, when I get home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Pull me hair. All right, so we're going to go to roll revisor bills, monitor rebalances. Okay. So I want to point, I'm not sure it's going to show what I want you to show here. Diversified portfolio. Okay, right here. You'll get it. Okay, so right here, this is what we want to see right here. So expand asset class. Okay, cool. All right, so let's see the expanded asset classes. Didn't I click on that? Tell me, Ma, when I get home, the boys won't leave the girls alone. Well, why is it not clicking? All right. She is handsome. She is pretty. She's the best city. All right, so right here, stocks. All right, so this one I want to point out. So on the Schwab diversified portfolios, you're essentially getting the market-based or the market cap ETFs of these U.S. small company, U.S. large company stock funds. You see how it's got fundamental. So basically, you're getting two different portfolios in one account. Look, I like the Schwab Intelligent Portfolios. I got no qualm with it at all. But I want to point out that the issue is that anytime you have a momentum-driven portfolio, like the S&P 500, or even worse, the NASDAQ, which is built basically on the back of 5 stocks, the fundamental portfolio won't be as much. It just won't be as dramatic. It just won't. And the reason for that is because the fundamental portfolio is actually why I bought Exxon today. Exxon has a PE ratio. Forward PE ratio is a nosebleed, but I don't expect that to persist. I just think it's a bad year for energy and oil in particular. And I think even if they do cut the dividends, I think it's still going to pay, like my man Jeff said. All right, so it's got an 8.5% yield right now. If they cut the dividend, the price will go down, and the yield at that case will still be probably 6%, even if they cut the dividend in half. I'm willing to take that. So basically, I bought. I'm willing to take that. Just let the dividends get me more and more shares. It pays quarterly, so every time Exxon pays a dividend, regardless of what the share price is, if the share price is low, I'm buying more shares for that same dividend. Now, look, I only bought 100 shares. That's $4,000. Not that big a deal. But it is, there's 100 shares. I mean, that's, again, it's not going to be killing me. But if Exxon does drop, I'll double down for sure. It's probably a stupid move because it's the reverse of momentum plays. But if you're buying a stock for a dividend and you're buying for the long haul, you buy 100 a round lot of shares every few months or something like that. If you have the resources to do it, makes sense. And next thing you know, you're sitting on 1,000 shares. It's paying, say, $5 a share. That's $5,000 right there of dividends that you're getting from that you're capturing, that you're reinvesting to more shares. That's the way to invest. And then what happens is you have more and more and more shares, regardless of what the stock price does. And then the stock price starts to creep up because energy is forever in demand, man. Ooh, I want to show you guys this too. All right, so anyway, go back to my man Carl. So we have two different portfolios. One is the momentum, which is the old-fashioned S&P 500, which is this guy here. And then one is a fundamental, which is going to be based on, I don't know what fundamental Schwab uses. It's not price to book. I think it's price to sales. They have a different belief of fundamentals than I would follow, but that's okay. Yeah, right here. So yeah, right here. Here we go. The fundamental, large U.S. fundamental, exactly. I wonder if they tell us what their fundamentals is. It's based on price of sales. I don't know. Hey, we'd have to look at this, but fundamental. Fundamentals are right here. Yeah. They're looking at fundamental factors such as sales, cash flow, dividends. Most traditional indexes are constructed based on market cap and have the largest weights. Okay. Fundamental weighted differences are significantly different due to their differences in construction. Fundamentally weighted indexes tend to behave differently than market cap weighted indexes in different market environments, while retaining the benefits of traditional indexing, such as transparency and low cost. I actually think that's quite important to understand, just because it's not going to have the same performance on the upside as a typical S&P 500 index, but on the downside, it'll probably outperform, frankly, because that's the thing with the S&P 500. The reason it's so volatile is because it's all momentum built. All right, so So I want to sweat it, Carl. I just keep at it. Look, man, it's just kind of like if I don't know if you, let me go back to the Windsor Fund. Let me just show you. I was doing this the other day when the last live stream I did, but I want to show it to you guys again because I think it's critically important. Vanguard. Bear with me just a second. Windsor. Tell me, Ma, when I go home, the girls won't leave the boys alone. Told me hair, stole me comb. All right, so here goes the Windsor Fund. I'll go share screen. Oops, hold on a second. Right there. Oops. Yeah, right there. Okay, there we go. All right, so here goes the Vanguard Windsor Fund. And we're gonna go to performance. And I remember this fund. It's all large cap value stocks, and it's just kicked butt and took names for many, many moons. The guy, John Neff or Bill Neff, I always forget, used to run it for since 1967. And then late in the 90s, right here, when I was actually working at Vanguard, oh man, why did they only go back to 2002? No, did they stop doing? Oh, that's the Admiral shares. Okay, let's do Vanguard. I don't want the Admiral. Vanguard, Windsor Fund Investor. All right, so let's go to this right here. All right, so let me go to performance. Hey, Pablo, good boy. All right, so when I was at Vanguard right here, the Windsor Fund in 1998 did 0.81%. In 1999, the Windsor Fund did 11.57. In 1997, it was up 21%. No, that's not good. You know why it's not good? I'll show you here in just a second. So remember, 22, less than 1, and 12. 22, less than 1, and 12. Let's look at VFINX, and this is just a good old-fashioned S&P 500. And performance. So remember, it was 22, less than 1, and 12. And the S&P 500 was up right here, 33, 28, 21. All right, and everybody and their mom hated the guy who was running the Windsor Fund, Neff. Hated him. They thought he had lost his way. They hated Warren Buffett, the whole thing. And then remember, the Windsor Fund was up 20% in 2000, whereas the S&P 500 was down 9. The S&P 500 or the Windsor Fund, let's go back to the Windsor, was up. Right here. So the Windsor Fund was up 15% in 2000, 5% in 2001, and down 22% in 2002. The S&P 500 was down 9, down 12, and down 22 right there. And so that's the difference between the momentum play of the S&P 500 and a fundamental play of like a value-oriented fund, is that they're going to operate in a different sector. They're going to be moved differently. And right now, what we're seeing is the lack of a momentum for value stocks, simply because fundamental stock picking, because everything's driven off the big, I guess, a big five. Let's take a look real quick at. It boggles my mind with Tesla. I mean, look, you can buy it. I don't care. I sit there and I say, what? So hold on just a second. Yeah, Tesla's up. I mean, freaking, this is insane. This is Dutch tulip territory. Tesla is up another 6% today. Not $6, 6%. That's just dumb. I mean, come on. This is people flocking in for FOMO, the fear of missing out. EV stocks are on fire. And I think what Apple split, the split doesn't mean anything. This whole thing, like, it's split, it should be worth more. I've heard that so many times in my career. Oh, it's getting ready to split. That's great, right? No, it doesn't mean anything. It's just people, just basic math, man. You used to have 100 shares trading at 100. Now you got 200 at 50. It's the exact same thing. Yeah. People just get, it's weird. I'm splitting. Hi. I'm like, oh, good night. Yeah, the Bullets, another Washington team that changed their name. Exactly. So let me show you guys something else. NBA sucks. Would rather watch curling than the NBA. Yeah, me too, Dana. Remember when the old Celtics-Lakers rivalries back in the 80s? That's fun. That's freaking exciting. Yeah. My man Angelo says, I'm planning on leaving 20% of my retirement in 401k so I can have some protection from creditors. Any thoughts? Yeah, I think the IRAs still have protection from creditors, where they give you like $1 million or something like that. Yeah, I don't have any problem with that. I frankly wouldn't worry too much about that. And maybe you're engaging in some risky enterprise. You got a bunch of rental real estate or something like that, but I wouldn't sweat that. Nobody actively watching the NBA. Now I saw that, David. The ratings are way down. I mean, dude, why are these people putting as a pariah, as a martyr, I should say, these freaking lunatic people who are up to no good? It's this what James Blake, is that his name? James Blake, something like that. Wasn't there a black tennis guy named Blake? I can't remember, but whoever this guy Blake was, the dude's a freaking criminal, man. He's not a good guy. I just don't understand why these people are sitting there thinking, like, what are the cops supposed to do, fools? What are the cops supposed to do? The dude is reaching in for a firearm. You can see that a mile away. The cops are on him like white on rice because he was assaulting people. He's pointing guns at people. I sit there. The problem is the mainstream media won't report that. So the fools on the left, they just hear one side of the story. They don't know what reality is. It's nuts. They don't hear it. And because they don't hear it, it's actually quite frightening. The propaganda has literally had them, their minds are being lost. You haven't looked at how he's a criminal? Just look it up. Look it up, Carl. Read what the cops were trying to arrest him for. Read what he was being pursued for, man. You haven't seen that? How can you not see? And look, I'm the first guy who says guilty until freaking, or innocent until proven guilty. Trust me, I know what it's like to be falsely accused. But let me tell you something. When the cops say we have a warrant for your arrest and we have a freaking report that you were doing up to no good, we're gonna put the freaking braces on you, man. We put the braces on you to make sure that you aren't going anywhere and to make sure we can process you according to the rule of law. Freaking look it up. This is insane. It's insane that people don't get this. It boggles my mind, man. Anyway, I just did tell you. I just did. All right. So anyway, what's happening here is, and that's what the court is for. The court is to prove innocence or guilt. That's what it's there for. Actually, not to prove innocence, to prove guilt. Either way, the cops come up on you and you have a freaking warrant for your arrest. You don't chase, you don't flee, you don't reach into a car. You don't do that. This guy he brought it on himself. Look, unsubscribe, don't care. Do not care. Unsubscribe. We all know this. Anyone who's got any sense of rational, anyone who's got any, what the hell are you talking about, dude? All right, Carl, you got to go, man. Anyone's got any sense of freaking just sanity will recognize if you don't want to be freaking, just I'm done with this guy. All right. So anyway, what was I just talking about? Anyway, the ratings are way down for the NBA. I couldn't be happier. I could not be happier. What are we talking about? Nobody actively watching. Okay, good. The NBA's dead. It has been. I think the radicals want the police. Yeah, exactly. And what are you supposed to do for what is the cops supposed to do? I'm so sick of this bashing the cops crap. Even from my side, the libertarian side, I'm sick of this crap. Yeah, are there some freaking bad apples? Oh, hell yeah. Name any industry there's not some freaking ass clowns. Any industry. David W., he doesn't want to hear the truth, man. I appreciate it. We know if anyone just with a brain, Carl doesn't want to think about it. He just wants to, we're victims. I'm a victim. I'm sick of the freaking anti-cop crap. It's weird too, because this is why I'll never be a full-fledged libertarian, because they're like, their cops are, freaking East German Stasi. Freaking dude, the cops are just dudes living in your neighborhood. Trust me. We've had run-ins with the cops that pissed me off. We had one when I lived in Dayton, Virginia. It's like, dude, come on. And then the chief, who we knew pretty well, he said, don't worry about it. So I get it, man. If you're on the wrong side of the cops, they can make your life miserable. I get that. The vast majority of cops don't want to make your life miserable. Just, can we stop this stuff? They're just regular dudes. In fact, the crazy thing is a lot of cops are black. But I'm sick of it. I'm actually sick of hearing how bad the cops are, that they're just a bunch of, whatever. I'm just sick of that crap. I'm not a cop. I sit there, I say, man, look, it's kind of like when I was in Panama and we're going through the jungles down there, worrying about getting rained on in the freaking middle of summer, freaking sweating like pigs. And monkeys are taking craps on their hands, throwing it at you, coming down the trees to steal your rifles if you're trying to sleep. It sucked. And I'm sitting there thinking, how did these guys do it in Vietnam? You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget that. Sitting there, they had booby traps, they had VC, they had everything. And I'm hating life. I've been M60, I've freaking 150 pounds on my back, going through the jungle thing in Panama. It's just miserable as all can be. I'm thinking, how do these guys do it in Vietnam? I mean, it's insane to me when people are actually shooting at them and stuff. And it's the same thing with the cops. I'm like sitting there thinking, how do these cops do this on a daily basis? And all we see, of course, is all the negative stuff. We don't ever see the cops getting shot. Someone was showing, who was it? Steve Crowder showing a cop getting shot the other day. He just went up to the cop and said, hey, what's up? And he got shot. I was like, you freaking scumbags. Sick of these people. Yeah, no, right. Biggest love Marxism, exactly. Yeah, just if the cops are telling you what are you supposed to do? If you're the cop, you're supposed to say, okay, go ahead. And then people are actually saying they should have let him drive away. And people on my side, Rob Dreher from the American Conservatives said they should just, I was like, what world are these people living in? I was nuts to me. People on my side, the right, are saying, should just let him drive away. I said, what the hell? Well, these guys can't do anything right. Carl is Carl from Simpsons. His long lost brother. Remember, you know what I'm talking about? Carl from Simpsons. Carl and Kenny. Oh man. All right. And that's my thing too, Craig. Once you put BLM, and I think my son just told me baseball has BLM on the pitcher's mound now. How are you going to remove that? Why would you ever throw in with a Marxist? It's the weirdest thing, man. It's kind of like that guy on the right, Rob Dreher. He goes, he's the first. He saw the video. The first thing is, are you kidding me? This is insane. I was like, Rob, or Rod, whatever his name is. Have you not learned anything? There's always more to the story. Maybe before firing off an anti-cop diatribe, you just wait to hear the rest of the story because you look like a friggin' idiot. I guarantee Rob Dreher and other squishy right wing thought hands up, don't shoot was legit too. Of course, that was all fake. The whole thing is I'm sick of it, man. And the sad thing is there are times with the cops, well, in this case, Eric Garner, I don't blame the cops. I blame the stupid law for not being able to sell cigarettes. That's insane because New York City wants to raise revenue off people who are addicted to cigarettes. The Flan Castile one up, where is that? Minnesota too, I think. That seemed to be over. I don't think he should. I think he was wronged. I think I haven't looked into it much more in the last year or so. But the minimal research I did, I think he should not have been killed. That's all there is to it. I think that was an overreaction. Yep, and things happen. There are some bad people. Some people overreact. It sucks, dude. It sucks. No other way around that. It happens all the time in a real world. Oh my God, people make mistakes. Unfortunately, people make mistakes and lives are lost. That's a fact. Welcome to the world, man. Sometimes you overreact on a car, you drive, you overreact, you overturn, and you hit some kid on a bike next to you. It sucks. It's horrible. Who was it? Chapman, the singer, that Curtis Chapman guy. He ran over his child in the parking lot, dude. The horrible accident, just an accident. It sucks. There's no other way around it. Stephen Curtis Chapman. I mean, things like this happen all the time. It's horrible. Yeah, in the NBA, it says, we were protesting. They didn't do it. What the hell would you want them to do? I just think it's funny. No one ever says, okay, there, Joe Biden. What would you have the cops do? Just let them go? Nuts. Right, Kenny, it's insane. We are living insanity. I don't know what else to say. I literally don't know. And the only thing that my only saving grace is that come November, the riot will happen at the ballot box. That's the only thing we can. This is why I had to do this live stream. I heard the NBA. I said, we've pampered these people for too long. Can you imagine telling the Vietnam generation? And look, everyone says the World War II. I get that, but a Vietnam generation, those guys are hard ass too, man. I mean, look, it's what happened where we're just pampering people so much. In some way, I sit there and I say, maybe we've had it too good for too long. I think that all the time because you can't have these NBA players are traumatized. It's like they got PTSD. This is insane. I'm sitting there thinking, a grown man who actually says that you would, I'm only 50 years old. No one in my generation would ever say that, would ever say, I'm so traumatized I can't go to work because of a video I saw on TV. It's insane. Any concern about stimulus ending and mass layoffs? Yeah, I always got a big concern. Yeah, I think it's right. My next door neighbor is a devout liberal. She went post on me when I told her, I said, there's no doubt to vote for Trump. I literally had to record part of the conversation for protection. NBA is smart. Yeah, right on. The media takes a few instances, looks like we're having an epidemic. Yep, no different than the freaking coronavirus stuff. And again, the truth, maybe there's something to this HCQ. Maybe not, but maybe it's something we should look at. No. Anything to make it so we can do it on Trump. It's weird. It's scary. And people fall for this crap. Whereabouts affect our investments? Yeah, we are seeing the rise of the Red Guard in America. And the Red Guard, the terrorism that happened in Europe in the 70s and stuff is happening here. And the reason is because we have mayors who won't crack down. That's all there is to it. I mean, look, this would be put an end in a minute if we just crack down on if we said, okay, we're going to make it, hopefully the DOJ is going to do it. But you got to make an example out of some people. Say, okay, you think this is fun and games? All right, you're going up the river for freaking 25 years, 25 to life, baby. That's it, because you did whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they pulled some guy off the street. Oh no, in unmarked cars. This is fascism. This is freaking insane. At some point, you just got to say, look, we're not going to listen to this. We're going to make examples, and you better not be the person we make an example of, because you won't be seen from in a regular society for 25 years. That's all there is to it. You can't have this happen, man. You can't. And, I don't want freaking National Guard marching down the streets, policing up freaking all that. But at the same time, at some point, you just say, no more of this. We're cracking down. Next person who does it, I'm just telling you right now, we're going to catch you. We're going to find you. We're going to send you away for a long ass time. The problem is, of course, the district attorney from George Soros funding, they don't want to do it. So the issue that needs to come in is the suburban DAs, the suburban county, prosecutors, the suburban sheriffs and whatnot. They're the ones who need to stand up, just like they did on the gun control stuff, with Second Amendment in Virginia and things of that nature. It's going to rely on the county sheriffs, frankly, to say, we're not putting up with this crap. Uh-oh. Hey, buddy, what are you doing? You're playing electronics? Okay. All right, cool. So it's gonna come on to the counties that are outside of the inner cities. And frankly, the inner cities want to go on a suicide mission. They can, for sure. They can do whatever they want, but don't be in the inner city. That's what it comes down to, because you're not gonna have any support. You know what I'm saying? My wife's calling me. Let me just text my wife. Hold on a second. Hold on just a second. Let me. I'm sure. Yeah, I guarantee. On live now. I bet she's telling me, make sure the boys are off electronics. Who wants to predict that? All right. Yeah, but if Trump wins, they'll just tell the left that their days are done. That's all there is to it. I saw something about any concern about stimulus ending? Yeah, I got concerned about that. The stimulus ending and the mass layoffs. We'll have to see. I don't know, but sure. Market seems euphoric. I don't know if the market truly is euphoric. It seems to me a few stocks are, but the most are not. So, okay. Oh, Liam. Okay. Hold on just a second, everybody. Let me call my son, Liam, here. Yeah, I just think some of the stocks are not like value. The value stuff doesn't seem euphoric at all to me. I don't think so. So I think there are some stocks that are like Tesla going through the roof, Amazon, whatnot. But I mean, at the end of the day, what are you going to do? What's the alternative? I mean, that's the issue. So for me, the alternative would be pay down debt, but I don't have enough investments to pay off my mortgage. If I did, I would absolutely, but I don't. So I'm just going to ride it out. And my dividend, this is where dividends, I'm telling you, dividends make all the difference in the world, because dividends, even when the market goes down, if they're paying quarterly, you're just getting those dividends each and every quarter, and you're buying more and more shares at a lower price. I think dividends get, some of these people are too, they look at dividend yield without seeing where that's coming from. They're almost too interested in dividends. Just what is the yield you're getting? And that's not enough. You got to do some research on, like we talk about payout ratios. We talk about, are they funding dividends on debt? We got to talk about, and that stuff. And if they're not, if the payout ratios are less than 50%, for instance, on a typical basis, if they're not funding dividends with debt, if they're funding with free cash flow, or if they have cash on the side, that's absolutely sustainable without question, especially if they're making profits. If they're making profits, you're fine without question. That's not a problem at all. But don't just buy the dividend, the stock has a high dividend. That doesn't make sense. And be prepared for it to be cut. I'm absolutely prepared for Exxon to cut its dividend. If it doesn't, feather my cap. I'll probably get a bump in the stock. If it does, I'll just keep buying it. Keep buying more and more shares with the dividends that they do pay. So I think that's what happens when you buy dividends. Is the dividends give you a little bit of a cushion from the the fall that comes from just a growth stock has nowhere to go except complete down to zero, because there's no dividends to give the cushion. Let's see. You know how I drive for FedEx, and I cannot believe how many trucks are on the road every day. They're hauling something. I see that as an indicator of hey, right on. Yeah, that's fantastic. They're hauling something. Oh, right on, man. Is this Jerry? All right, cool. I forgot your username, brother, but I remember FedEx driver moving back and forth. I know from the Midwest. So trucks are on the road. They're moving product. Gridlock way between celebrating the NFL. I can't stand celebrating. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. We need Trump in the Senate so we can make sure that we get the judges in. If Trump has 4 more years, is lights out for the Supreme Court for our side. I mean, it's lights out for the Lebs. RBG, she will be gone for sure. Clarence Thomas will probably retire. And then we'll get 6-3. And so I love Clarence Thomas. I love him to death. But he's getting old, you know what I'm saying? So he'll retire. We'll replace RBG. We got to keep the Senate. That's all it comes down to. Oh, man, Jill, no notifications again. How long do I think it'll take to get the economy consistently marching as in January? Dude, I don't know. That's a great question, Brady. When they had the, if we had 30 million people lose their jobs, if that's true, I don't know. It's weird, man. All right. Fed rates are at zero forever. I think that's right. Harry says Fed rates are at zero forever, and they're buying corporate bonds. Market will inflate just like real estate. Yeah, I could not agree more. Joe's been an NBA season ticket holder for over 20 years, watching the Indiana Pacers. Remember Reggie Miller, Joe? And Detlef Schrempf. Reggie Miller, Detlef Schrempf, Chris Mullin. Remember that? Yeah, man. I used to like the Pacers back in the day. But Joe, yeah. 4 more years will break the Marxists. I mean, it really comes down. Trump wins, the Marxists are dead, from China to here. All right, my friends, I think I'm going to run here real quick. I got to take care of some home business. I just got to get this off my checks about JD 2 for the Mavs. So sad. Went to Kelly School of Business. Mark Cuban too. Anyway, I just had to get this off my chest about the stupid NBA. Man, we'll do some more live streams later on this week. I'll try to let you know, but I just get on my head. I like doing live streams. I like the participation. So much obliged for y'all being here. And the Bruins are on now. I'm predicting Bruins are down 2-0 already. Let's take a gander, because the Bruins aren't protesting. Brad Marchand protesting? Hell's no. So I'm predicting the Bruins are down 2-0. No, it's 0-0 halfway through the first. All right. We'll see you guys. Thanks for being here.